Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Freeland here. How are you? Hey, I'm just going through parts of the lesson, and these are writing pages that you can use. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on using this checklist. Now, sometimes when I'm teaching writing and I have students use a checklist, it can be a little dangerous. They like to go check, 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 check. I did everything, Mrs. Freeland. I'm all done. So, boys and girls, what you need to do is really take your time with your writing checklist. Make sure you've reread your story and you're going to do one thing at a time. All right. So first I'm going to reread my writing. So what I would do is I would go back to my story. I would reread it. And actually you might want to reread it out loud. Then you can check off this part. I have reread my writing. So after you reread that, you can check it off. My writing makes sense. So you're going to reread it. You're going to make sure that everything in there makes sense. I have a lead that connects to the heart of my story. So you have to actually go back to the story and say, one beautiful sunny spring Easter morning long ago, we were getting ready to go to church. So that does, because it shows you it was so pretty outside, and that's probably why my daughter followed the dog and they ran away, because it was so nice. And actually, boys and girls, look who joined me for the lesson. It's Daisy Dog, right? This is the dog that my daughter followed. All right, so I'm going to go to the next part. My writing made sense when I read it over. Now, yep, my lead connected to my story. I'm going to go find the one idea I used from the mentor author. So I'm going to look through, and I remember right here, I actually used part from the mentor author where it said, I was worried, or, I looked down through rows of trees. I looked up, I looked up, I looked everywhere. That repeating part was something I used from my mentor author. Okay, I ended my story with one of my favorite authors. So I'm going to go back to my story and I'm going to reread the ending. All right, so this is the part where I followed my author from the Rain book, and I repeated things. So I'm going to go back to my checklist because I found that part. Right? And take your time, boys and girls, with a checklist. Make sure that you're, using it correctly. All right. And I added details to my writing. So now I'm going to go back to my story and look for the details. Here's some details: that it was beautiful and sunny. She was playing out on the sidewalk with sidewalk chalk, right? And then here's a detail of what I thought. Here's details where I looked. You know what? I wonder at the end if I added enough details when she was found. She found her dog Daisy to the back of the orchard. Maybe I need to add a detail here. So when you use your checklist, think about how you could make your story better. I'm going to say the three of them came walking together back to the house. So boys and girls, see, I would look through my story and I used the checklist, and I thought, you know what, I needed to add more detail in that spot. So this checklist, don't just check, 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 but use it and then make your writing better. Now I can check that off. Okay. Then did I have a period or question mark or exclamation at the end? Did I use capital letters? You're going to go back to your story and look for all of these things, okay? And then sign your name at the end. And then your writing partner, if you're working at home, can sign it, or whoever signed it, that they went through every one of these things one at a time. So I'm going to look for punctuation, go back to my story, then come back to my list. I'm going to look for capital letters, go back to my story. Then I can check it off. I'm going to go back and look for spelling, come back. I'm going to go back, make sure all my names have capitals. Make sure all my words aren't crammed together. Okay, boys and girls, that's how you use a checklist. You do one thing at a time, go find it in your story, and then come back to your list and check it off. Kind of like in the grocery store. How you pick one thing off off the shelf, check it off. I don't go in the grocery store and like stand in the beginning and check on my list. No, I find each thing and then I put it in my cart and then check it off. You're going to do the same thing with your story. Find each thing on your list and then check it off. So you're kind of going back and forth between your story and your checklist. And your partner can help you do that too. And then you can help your partner. Okay, good luck using that checklist today, boys and girls.